guys, it's Cody and welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today is gonna be another video where I just sit down and talk with you guys. But today I want to talk about something that I haven't talked about before, and I realized, you know what? Maybe I oughta. I'm originally from Hawaii, but I moved to California in late 2017. And let me just say, when I moved to California, the California cosplay scene was definitely a little bit different than the Hawaii scene. There were a lot of similarities, of course, but the biggest one was where to buy cosplay supplies. Because some of the stuff that's available in the mainland USA is not available in Hawaii at all. So when you're a cosplayer in Hawaii, you have to get a little bit creative and you have to find some stores that may be a bit unfamiliar to people on the mainland, but are near and dear to people in Hawaii. So that's what I want to talk about today. Today I want to tell you guys where I got my cosplay supplies when I lived in Hawaii. Alright, let's get started. So the first place I want to talk about is Fabric Mart. This is probably the closest to a fabric store chain that we have in Hawaii. I would say in Hawaii they probably have the most variety of fabrics available, ranging from your typical cotton and satin all the way up to things like leather and canvas. In terms of the quality, I would say they're a little bit middle of the road. They're not necessarily super cheap and janky, but they're not high price and luxurious. That being said though, if you're used to say something like the LA Fashion District, I would say they're a little bit above the prices in that regard. The best store I can kind of compare it to would be probably Joann's if you didn't have a coupon. Fabric Mart also has things like notions and patterns, so it's definitely a nice one-stop place for anything sewing related. There are multiple locations all over the state, but if you want to go to the location with the most variety and the most amount of products, I would go to the warehouse location in Aiea. Alright, so the second location I want to talk about is Kaimuki Dry Goods. Compared to Fabric Mart, Kaimuki Dry Goods definitely has better quality fabrics. I really love their poplin. They don't really wrinkle as much compared to the cotton that you find in Fabric Mart. But that being said though, better quality means higher prices, so that is definitely something to keep in mind. They will also have more finer fabrics such as velvet and silk. They also have wedding satin as well if you want to make a wedding dress. In addition, one thing they recently started doing after I moved was also selling higher end sewing machines and embroidery machines. So if that's something you're interested in, then definitely check those out. Like Fabric Mart, they also have notions and patterns. But I would say the biggest positive about Kaimuki Dry Goods is the staff. The staff are so helpful. Whenever I was having trouble with a costume, I would talk to the staff and we would bounce ideas off of each other. They were very helpful in that regard. So 10 out of 10 on the staff, would highly recommend. Alright, so the third location I want to talk about is Ben Franklin Crafts. I would say Ben Franklin is probably the closest that Hawaii has to, say, a Michael's, in that it's all craft related. So they do have some things such as, your foam, paints, resin casting. Last time I was there, they also had vinyl as well. Well, if you're into, say, making vinyl cuttings for t-shirts. And similar to Fabric Mart, they do have multiple locations as well. So those are the top 3 locations I went to when it came to finding crafting supplies. But here are a few other ones in case you want some options. Number 4 is Hawaiian Graphics. This one is more art-based, so I rarely went there for cosplay supplies, but they do have dyes, clays, and paint. So if you have a cosplay project in that wheelhouse, go to Hawaiian Graphics. Number 5 are just other general chain stores. We do not have a Joann's or a Michael's, but we do have a Walmart, a Lowe's, and a Home Depot. In fact, there is actually a Walmart near the Hawaii Convention Center. So if you go to a Hawaii convention and you have a crafting emergency, there's a Walmart relatively close and it's open 24/7. And finally, number 6, the internet. Look, we live on an island. There's only so many places we can go to on an island to find cosplay supplies. So oftentimes we do have to turn to the internet just like everybody else. That being said though, be prepared for horrendous shipping prices. That is one thing I do not miss about living in Hawaii. Shipping. And especially for stores like fabric.com that will say if you buy a certain amount, shipping will be free. Yeah, it doesn't apply to Hawaii, so just keep that in mind. And that's where I bought all of my cosplay supplies while I lived in Hawaii. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this video a thumbs up. And if you have any questions or if you have any other places that I forgot to mention because, I haven't lived in Hawaii for a few years now, please feel free to tell me in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to see more cosplay content from me. If you want to see me dance, please check out my dance channel. And if you want to support me even more, please feel free to leave a donation on Ko-fi. I'll see you guys in my next video. Until then, bye-bye!